Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about, a little bit more glam for the eyes, especially because I'm going out to the store and I'm going to be wearing my mask. So I want my eyes to look a little bit more glamorous. So maybe we'll call this segment, glam for the eyes. Anyway, one of the things that I wanted to, share with you. Now, I know that a couple of segments back, I talked about not wanting to focus on the bottom. I did do this eye already because, for the sake of time, I just wanted to have this eye done, and then I'll do this eye and demonstrate what I'm doing. But I know I talked about when you reach my age, you want to focus more on up than you do down. But, I want to add a little bit more glam. I think it looks pretty good. I hope you do too. Anyway, this pandemic has been really something, hasn't it? One of the things that I discovered for myself, not on my own, but with help of, a friend, I had posted about how I needed prayer because I couldn't sleep. I was really struggling getting to sleep. And so a friend of mine had, sent me a post, and she had, it was about grief. And so her perspective was that it was grief that I was experiencing. Well, I never really, thought about it in that way. I never thought about grief because I haven't lost anyone. If you have, I'm very sorry for your loss. But what I did lose was the way my lifestyle. I was working two part-time jobs, and I was involved in a couple of ministries, and so I was constantly busy between that and my home life and being a grandparent. So all that came to a screeching halt because of this pandemic. So now that I was able to understand it better and came to a better understanding that I was suffering from grief, then I was able to, not just get through it, but grow through it. Anyway, so we're going to start with the upper eyelid. And sometimes I use brushes, which I'll be using today, and then sometimes I use fingers. So I've got my neutral colors, and I'm going to start with a light shade, and I'm just going to buff across my lid, like so. And then I'm going to get some water. Need it to warm up just a little bit, so I'm warming up the water, and I'm going to put just a little bit at the bottom of a cup. Now I've got a flat brush like this. This is a really nice flat brush, and I'm going to wet it, and then I'm going to take my favorite round and just kind of squeeze the excess out. If you didn't get a good look at that, it's nice and flat. I might have squeezed a little too much water out, so I'm going to touch the very top of the brush. And I'm going to go in here to this really deep navy blue right there. Navy blue seems to work really well with, I think, making the eyes look a little brighter. My eyes are brown with a little bit of hazel. And I just think that this color just kind of makes the brown pop. Like this eye looks tired, and this one not so much. Okay. There are certain colors that make your eyes pop. Like, for example, if you have blue eyes and you put on a nice corally color lipstick, not a light coral, but just a nice shade of coral. I don't have one here. But try it. It'll make your blue eyes pop out. It's really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to lift, and I'm going to apply the first layer on the bottom underneath my lashes. So I'm going up underneath my lashes and I'm rocking back and forth. Sometimes I have a tendency to blink, like we all do, but anyway. So I'm just rocking back and forth and I'm pushing that up through the base of my lash. Can you see that? Now, what's interesting to me is back in the day, my mom and my grandmother, they had a vanity, and my great grandmother too, but they had a vanity, and the vanity had a mirror down at the base. And the reason for that is so when they're putting on their makeup, they're looking down and their eyebrows are up and they're looking down and they're applying their makeup. And my mom told me, she said that you never want to pull on your eye. You can lift, but you never want to pull like outward. And I know that I've seen a lot of women who will pull on their eyelid, but if you can help it, try not to. And the reason is because then you're also helping to aid keeping your eyelids, strong. So then I've added a little more. And I'm lifting a little, just a little. I'm not really lifting a lot, but I'm lifting mainly up my brow. It just looks like I'm pulling more because my fingers are over my eye. And if I tilt my head back a little bit, oh, that's pretty. If I tilt my head back a little bit, then I've got that effect of looking down. So really I can only get as far with this wide brush as from the outside to the center. I missed a spot, so I'm lifting again and I'm pushing up, lifting and pushing like that. I've got another favorite brush. It's an angular. It's really cool. The angular, I'm going to wet it a little bit. And then I'm going around the outside corners. And the reason why I go around the outside is because I don't really like to dig in the middle. Sometimes you get to the center and well, that's just me. All right. So now I'm coming across the top and I'm going to start in the corner. And I'm going to make a little wingtip there. That wingtip looks better than this one, so let's touch that up. That's okay. All right, so I need a little bit more. And the eyelids, much like the skin on your lips, it's very sensitive. So I think that's probably another reason why my mom had shared with me, never tug, just, a lift. And then I'm going to take a neutral shade with a sponge. It's a little deeper. It's kind of a taupe. And I'm going in the crease. And then there's like a little gold flake. It's really pretty. So I'm just going to put that under my brow and in the corners. And then this kind of taupey shade, it's kind of a grayish taupe. I'm going to go in the corner on this side. And on the other side of my little sponge, I'm going to pick up this dark teal. And I'm going to blend it in with that gray. Need to do the same thing over here. So yeah, you still want to focus on up, but if you want to glam up, then yeah, put some on the bottom. Why not? But it's just a good key to remember to focus on upward. And then I need my mascara. I had it a second ago. Well, here I go again. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. All right. It's that e.l.f. mascara. I really like it. Okay. So I like to brush outward. And then I'll come in and give a little rocking motion. And then I'll just put a little bit on the bottom, and then a little bit on this bottom. And then the other thing that I like to do is I'll take a lighter pencil, either white or neutral. This one's white. And then I'm not going to pull, but I'm going to push in to expose the inside lid. Hope that didn't gross you out. I'm going to push in. And then I am going to apply the white right there like that. And then the last but not least, brow. I did that brow already, but I could probably add a little bit more. And I like to use the brush. I think the brush has a better effect on that. I like this little tiny brush. Like that. So I'm not going to worry about lipstick because I'm going to be wearing a mask. But when I take my mask off and I'm in the car, I can put some lipstick on there. Now, when I get through with my brushes, I will clean them. And, you know, I use my makeup remover. I'm not spending a whole lot on makeup remover, but I'm adding it to the cup. I dumped out the water and I'm just putting a little bit down there at the bottom. And then I'm taking my brushes and then just kind of getting all that makeup off of my brush. It's you know, you want to try to remember to keep your brushes clean because they're, you know, they're touching your face. And sometimes if you get eye infections, you wind up having to throw away a lot of stuff and start over. But this can help to save on, you know, most of your product. The one thing I highly recommend throwing away is mascara. After you've had mascara for about a month, even if there's still mascara in there, throw it away, get yourself a new one. And so I'll do the same thing with, you know, my little sponges. I'll just, you know, come in here and wet my sponge and take that nice little round and just kind of squeeze it out. And then, you know, it's nice and clean, good as new. And the same thing for these. And I will rinse a little bit of water over them and then take a towel and then put them, lay them flat to dry. Anyway, so that's it. A little glam for the eyes. Hope that you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for joining me. May God bless you. Shalom.